Tonight I want to share with you, please write this down, I want to talk to you about the 10 keys for personal success. I want to remind you that our class is really focusing on success, which gives you influence. And that's the concept I'm trying to communicate to you as we share these thoughts. The School of Influence is really based on the level of success that you have. I was thinking, for example, LeBron James, one of the top basketball players in the world today, was simply a young man from a high school. But his success in sports makes him celebrated. The word celebrate is where we get our word celebrity from. A celebrity is someone who the majority of the people celebrate, and therefore they consider them to be people of influence. His success as a basketball professional on the court gives him influence in so many other areas. A young man won the MVP last night. All of a sudden, he was telling a story yesterday, when he got the award last night, about his mother bringing him up as a single parent and how she contributed his life. But he was unknown. His success, I think it's Kevin Durant is his name, he really became influential last night because of MVP, most valuable player in basketball. And again, I want you to understand the principle behind that. The principle is, if you become successful in an area of your life, you really become influential in the areas of life. And so the goal is to really become successful. And give an example of Jesus Christ. When Jesus came out of that little village called Nazareth, Nazareth only had 11 houses. That was being town. And it had one street. I went to visit Nazareth over 27 years ago before it was built up. And they did excavations. The archaeologists found the original Nazareth. And Nazareth built around a well, because wherever people found water, that's where they built the city or village. And they discovered that Nazareth only had 11 houses. No wonder why Jesus was well known in that little town. When he went back to them, they said, can any good thing come out of this little town? They said, who do you think you are? But it was really a settlement. But when he was about to begin his ministry, he had to do something successful. What did he do? He went looking for a problem. If you are a basketball team and you're losing, you want to find a player who can solve your problem. The Miami Heat went shopping and hired 4 players to solve their problem. They had never won championships. So they went looking for who? Solutions. Success begins with identifying a problem to solve. So Jesus Christ knew, if I'm going to be successful, I must succeed in something. So he went looking for a problem. He found one. He found 3 young men at that time sitting on the beach with an empty boat. That was a problem. They were professionals. They didn't know what to do with their problem. What did he do? He offered to solve their problems. What did he use? His gift. What was his gift? The gift of dominion. And he told them to go back out. Wrong location, wrong depth, and net on the wrong side, and he solved their problem. Now, what happened after that? Do you know what happened after that? It says, Peter said to him, "What manner of man are you?" In other words, you just separated yourself from normal men. That's what that means. We thought he was a normal person. Success begins with separating yourselves from the pack. what manner of person are you? Why? Because you solved a problem that we couldn't solve. You used the gift we didn't know you had. Immediately, he became celebrated. He became a celebrity. No wonder why they were willing to drop their nets, shut down their fishing company, and join him. Because he became what? Successful in an area of life. Therefore, he became influential. Influence is the capacity to cause other people to listen to you or to follow you. What is influence? Oh dear. I guess I'm talking to myself. Talk to myself, talk to the hand. Influence is the capacity to cause other people to listen to you or to follow you. That's influence. Suddenly they decided to listen to him. Then they went even to the point where they said, we will follow you. Influence is when other people change their priorities for yours. What is influence? When other people change their priorities for yours. It's influence. So the reason why we focus on success is because success brings you influence. And I'm going to move very fast tonight because I want to get to these 10 keys. And then for the rest of the year, we are going to deal with each one of these keys, and we're going to deal with national influence. Because you will never be successful until you have influence. And you will never have influence until you are successful. They are connected. So I want to begin to talk about then the origins and the nature of success. Our focus in this session is going to be on the role of laws and rules in personal success. Write that down, please. The role of laws and rules in personal success. There's one point I want you to leave this class with tonight, and it's this. There's a difference between a law and a rule. And rules can actually stop you from being successful. We'll explain this in this session. Anyone who wants to be successful must break the rules. Please listen carefully. I'm going to give you an important lesson tonight. Your failure in life or your lack of success in life is related to the fact that you obey the rules. Are you thinking? So don't confuse laws with rules. I want you to look at this slide, if you can see it from where you are, and I want you to say out loud the words that you see in this slide. Ready? Any word, go. Intelligence, imagination, motivation, time, courage, confidence, ideas, hard work, creativity, will, focus, intelligence, imagination. What's the last word? What's the big word? Success. I pulled out this slide because this slide has all the principles that lend to success. And each one of those words you may try and remember. Intelligence, motivation, imagination, will, very important, confidence, creativity, creativity, hard work, courage, time, very important. You don't rush into success. So success is really an integration of a number of principles we're going to talk about tonight. I want to talk about these 10 keys or these 10 laws of success that I have used in my own life. And these keys or laws are immutable. They are also universal, and they can work anywhere in the world. These laws have no respect for your ethnic background, your pigmentation. They have no respect for your family upbringing or your culture, because laws are universal. They work for anyone if you learn them. When we talk about success, I want to quickly define success for you so that you don't think that success is something else. Everybody wants to be successful, correct? I mentioned to you in my last few sessions that success is predictable, failure is predictable. And the reason why success and failure are predictable is because everything was designed to function by laws, and laws make things predictable. Laws make life predictable. Write that down. All life is predictable because of laws. And the reason why everything has laws attached to it is because God created everything to succeed. And that success is related to God's reputation. He wants to protect his reputation through his creation. Whatever God created is supposed to work. It's supposed to succeed. Whether it's a bird flying or a fish swimming or a tree bringing, its fruit, everything has to work by laws. That means you were designed by God as God's number one highest creation. Which means that then God has to create some laws by which you succeed to make his reputation successful. In other words, success is good for God. Now, success is not a pursuit. This is important. If you want to be successful in life, don't try to be successful in life. People are failures because they try to be successful. Successful people didn't try to be successful. They simply followed some laws. In other words, success is a result of obedience to laws. What did I say?
Success is a result.
Talk loud back to me. What did I say?
Success is a result of obedience.
Write that down and tweet that to somebody right now. Hashtag Myles Munroe. Success is what? A result. It's not a pursuit. In other words, success is a byproduct of an activity that you are involved in. LeBron James had no desire to be successful. He desired to be the best player, that's all. So he followed some rules. Last night, I heard them interview him after the Miami basketball team won by 20 points. And they asked him a question. They said, how did you do it? He said, well, we had a few days off. And instead of resting, we spent all the time on the gym shooting. In other words, on their break, they were working. What was he doing? He was following one of the laws. Hard work even when you're off. He was telling us that his success is not something he desired to pursue, but rather he was more concerned about working a law. So that's important to understand. What is success? Let me define a couple of thoughts for you. First of all, success is not what you've done compared to what others have done. Why? Because you always find somebody less than you and better than you. So you can actually claim to be the first in the class and still be a poor student. I remember that happened to me when I was a kid. in Western Prep School here in the Bahamas. I ran home and I was so excited. I got 48 on the test. 48. And I got the top mark in the class. I ran home and showed my mother my exams, my test. My mother punished me. She said, you got first in the class at 48. Two things has to happen. Number one, the teacher need to be fired. And number two, you are disgraced. That means everybody got less than 48. She said, 48 out of what? And that was the question. 48 out of what? See, success is not measured by what you've done compared to others. Success is measured by what you've done compared to what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to get 100. So 58 at the top of the class is failure because 100 was supposed to be success. So success is not measured by what you've done compared to what the others have done. It's measured by what you've done compared to what you should have done. In essence, success is the fulfillment of the original assignment or purpose for which the entire test was given. Your life, therefore, is measured by why God created you, not what you've done. Let me try it again. Your success in your life is not measured by what you've done, but by why God created you compared to what you've done. In other words, you could be a complete failure and everybody else thinks you are successful because you didn't do what God purposed for your life. Conclusion then is that success is simply fulfillment and completion of original purpose. The purpose for the exam is for me to get 100%. I got 48. So according to the examiner, even though I got the highest score, everybody failed, including me. Because the issue is not my comparison to the others who got less than me, but my comparison to what I was supposed to have gotten. The purpose for the class was 100%. Everybody still with me? Yeah. So success in your life is first of all discovering why did God create you? What was the assignment, the purpose for your birth? Why did you come into the world? And this is really the key to measuring your success in life. That's why God measures success this way. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. He says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you future and what? Hope. To give you a future and a hope. God has a future, a mark ahead of you that's supposed to be what you reach. If you don't make it to the future that God intended for you, no matter how many people celebrated you, you're a failure. So success is measured by the future for which you was conceived. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 10 says, if the axe is dull and the edge is unsharpened, much strength is needed. But with skill, success comes quickly. I love that verse. If the axe is dull means that if you don't know and understand the laws and the keys and the principles of success, you will work hard like a dull axe and still not get the tree cut down. You won't accomplish what you were born to do. So life is not really just about working hard, it's about working skillfully, smartly. And the only way to work smartly is to have knowledge of the law. Skill has to do with knowing the laws. A skillful mechanic can fix your car in 1 hour. You can sit by your car and be angry for 2 days. What's the difference between you and the mechanic? He knows the laws of the mechanics, right? So he can fix your car. So you can work hard and still be a failure if you don't know the laws. So what is the laws we talk about? Why do we call it the keys to success? Jesus Christ said these words concerning living in his kingdom, Matthew 16 verse 19. He says, I will give you the keys, notice the plural word, of the kingdom. Whatever you lock up on earth will be locked up in heaven. Let me explain what that means. He said, I'm going to give you some laws. Keys are laws, principles. He said, with these principles, you can stop things from happening or you can start things to happen. And whatever you stop when you use these keys, heaven will back you up. And whatever you allow, heaven will back you up. In other words, you control on earth what heaven does. Wow. I'm going to give you the laws, he says, by which you can actually bring heaven to earth. You can cause heaven to act on your behalf on earth. So whatever you start or stop depends on the laws that you disobey or obey. You can shut down things or open up things depending on the laws you obey or disobey. Is that clear? He's giving us really, notice he says, heaven will do what you do, which means that he's telling us that this ain't up to God. Success is not up to God. It's up to you. If you don't know the keys, God can't help you. If you know the keys, God will help you. Why? Because God is a God of laws. He responds to laws. Just like any manufacturer, you obey the laws of the manufacturer, they guarantee the product will operate. They support their product because you keep the law. So God says, I will give you the keys, I will give you the principles, the systems, the concepts by which we shall have success. Now, I want you to think about this now. Success, as I said, is not really something you pursue. It is a journey. It is a process. You will have success at increments on your way to your ultimate purpose. Success has more to do with moving in the right direction than coming to a destination. Success really is a process, not really a destination. When you make it based on the process to your ultimate purpose, then you are what you would call fulfilled, or you fulfill the assignment. If I got an A on that test, I would have fulfilled the assignment of the one who said the test. Maybe God does spank us when we bring 48% home. We are proud of something God's ashamed of. We tell God, look how good I've done. God says, you should see what you could have done. If you settle for this, you call this special? You call this success? You embarrass me, he says. And that's why I'm going to share with you the difference between laws and rules. Very important. The secret to success, Joshua 1, verse 8. God told Joshua the secret to success. Here it is. He says, keep this book of the law on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will make your way prosperous, and you will have good success. God gave the responsibility of success to you, not to him. Read that verse again. God says, it's up to you, Joshua, whether you succeed or fail. And it depends on what? What do you see there? Come on, say it loud. What does it depend on? Laws. Yeah, thank you very much. Laws. I told you that success is predictable. You could actually reverse this verse. Let us reverse it, okay? If you do not keep this book of the law on your lips, and do not dwell in it day and night and meditate, and do not be careful to do everything in it, then you will make your way a failure and poor. Am I right? Yeah, it's reversed. It's predictable. So if you don't know the laws and don't obey them, then you can't pray for success. No one has ever been successful because someone prayed for them or because they prayed for it. Success is a result of obedience to laws. Am I clear? Okay. Why are laws so important? Let me deal with this real quickly. Write this down. The key to life is order. Order comes from law. The source of law brings order. When you obey laws, you bring order to your life. The ultimate law, therefore, of life is law, because there's nothing more important than law. What does law do? Laws protect, sustain, preserve, they guard, and they promote life. If you obey laws, they'll protect you, they will guard you, they will preserve you, they will sustain you, and in the end, they'll promote you. If you always do what's right, I guarantee you, you will emerge to the top eventually. People who take shortcuts, people who sell drugs become rich, or people who sell their bodies, pay their bills, or people who compromise in their jobs to get ahead. Don't worry about them. Don't be jealous of them. They will fail. They will fail. Because you cannot break a law. Laws break you. Write this down, please. Without law, there's no definition in life. Laws define things. You put a seed on a tile floor and leave it there for 20 years, the seed will stay there and no tree will come forth. Why? Because you violated the law of the seed. So the law defines